MND is a disease that attacks your nervous system and gradually kills off the nerves which operate the muscles. So gradually your muscles start to deteriorate, but it's very, very sobering to be given a 3-year death sentence, which is what happens when you get diagnosed with MND. Whatever research can be done to try and slow the progression of motor neurone disease or even come up with some sort of solution to it is sort of desperately wanted by people in my sort of situation. You know, maybe it won't be for me, but the more research that can be done, then people in future might sort of survive much, much longer with motor neurone disease. So whatever help you can give, I think is, you know, you're almost obliged to do it.
Well, the battle against MND is one that's very personal to National Transport Insurance. Our former CEO, Wayne Patterson, was diagnosed with motor neurone disease and fought a really strong fight for about a good 2 years against it, and unfortunately passed away late last year. As he was battling, well, trucking's in our DNA, NTI, so as you can see, looking at the Jailbar, it's an absolute stunner, and we wanted to put the fun back in fundraising, so it was a case. Our first restoration was of a K5 1946 International truck. That was literally taken from the junk pile, and we invested in that, managed to raise $55,000 in funds for motor neurone disease. This time, we're trying to smash that. This truck is worth anywhere between $90,000 to $100,000. It's had hundreds of man hours put into it so far, and we want to see how far we can push the fundraising efforts. As you see, we talk about taking our industry towards a safer future at National Transport Insurance. This is a broader community initiative and how we can give back. And with Wayne having set up a legacy for us, we want to give a legacy back to the community as well.
Oh, this is it's a real game changer, I think, for us in regards to having such a great company like NTI wanting to support people with motor neurone disease. The awareness that this truck will create is amazing. So it's a national-wide campaign, and then actually the dollars it can raise for research can make a really big difference.
And how many people are Queensland with MND?
Yeah, at any one time there's 2,000 people in Australia and approximately 400 people in Queensland with MND. So every day in Australia, 2 people are diagnosed and 2 people pass away. So the numbers are growing a little bit. Look, it's really debilitating. If you speak to a lot of doctors, MND is a disease that you don't want. There's no real effective treatment, there's no effective cure. So that's why putting money into research is so important. So the only way we're going to stop losing brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, etc., is research. And so it's a really key thing to put an end to this terrible disease.
So we study the immune system and how we think the immune system goes awry in diseases like motor neurone disease, and we're studying ways we can interrupt this immune process and reduce progression of disease. So the work that we're currently conducting is part of fundraising efforts from last year's raffle, and the current raffle really will allow us to continue this work into next year. So we've shown that there's an immune protein in the body that acts as a dampener for what we call inflammation in people who have motor neurone disease. So the funding has allowed us to identify ways that we can therapeutically target this receptor as a potential treatment option for motor neurone disease.